Hey there everyone, welcome back to another episode of How To. Today we're going to run through another quick video. In one of our earlier episodes we've done Burr realignment using the marker method for the DF83V. Now we did mention that the principle is the same when you apply it for your vertical grinders. However, today I'm going to show you how to do exactly that with your vertical grinders. In this case we have right here the DF83 and it's fitted with the 83mm lap suite Burrs, the red speed coating ones. So we're going to show you how to do the Burr realignment with the marker method. Okay, so as you can see, I've taken out the top burr carriers and exposed both the burrs. Now the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to take soluble marker, whiteboard marker preferably, and we're going to outline the edges, the teeth. We're not going to go and color the pre-breakers. That could cause some confusion along the way, as the pre-breakers rarely don't really come into contact as much. We want to focus on the outer edges, the teeth, the finer teeth. These are the ones that come into contact, and when the burrs start to shim, you can see how much of it is aligned by how much of the whiteboard marker markings have been rubbed off. Okay, so I'm going to show you just that over here. Just focus on the edge. Try not to touch the pre-breakers and use a marker where you can see the color difference between the burr and the marker. So for example, if you are using a silver night coated burr, it's preferable if you can get, sorry, let me just clean that up a bit. Yeah, make sure that it's erasable. Yeah. So if you are using a silver night burr, try to use a red marker. It's a lot more visible compared to a blue marker. Now, I'm going to do the same for this burr as well. So I'm only touching the edges and I'm not going to draw it too thick. I do not want to confuse myself as to why it's not completely erased off. You want a clear answer. Now we're going to fit the burrs back. The top burr chamber, we're going to put it back on, and before we do that I would just like to highlight this. Okay, now when you put the top burr carrier back on, two things you need to take note of. One is, let's see if I can bring this fella out. It's not that easy. Alright, first thing first, let's look at the wave spring. Okay, make sure that the depressions, the indents over here are the ones that are placed at the notch. Now if you put the peaks, chances are it's going to push up against the notch. It's not going to sit properly, and that's going to affect your zeroing, your burr grinding. It's going to make it a lot harder for you to get fines, and yeah, and basically the chamber is not going to sit on it properly. So try to put the depressions at where they are. Secondly, if you take a look, rubber holders, okay, you can notice that it's in the shape of a V, right? It's pointing downwards. So that means then you can't place them interchangeably. You gotta put it V-shaped down. Okay? Make sure that it's not resting on the wave spring as well. And there you have it. That's how you know that the rest of these parts are sitting properly. Put the chamber back on. Remember, once again, take a look at the manufacturer's marking. It's supposed to be on the top part of the grinder. Now, once you're done, when you're at home, please apply as much grease as you can to the collars and to the chamber parts over here as well, so that they don't scratch as much. Now we're going to reassemble everything back. Now these threads are designed for you to be able to screw the collar back on easily without much effort required. So don't worry about it if it gets harder to turn. Remember, you have fitted an SSP burr, so it's going to be a little bit thicker and there's going to be a little bit of resistance. You should still be able to close the grinder. This is as far as you can close. Loosen it a bit so that the burrs don't shim when you turn it on. So make sure when you're doing all these things, the main switch is turned off so that you don't accidentally turn on the grinder and grind your fingers. We do not want that. Now turn it back on and then turn on your grinder. Start it up slowly and gently turn the collar until it starts to shim. Then let it run for a few seconds once it starts shimming. You can hear it. Try not to apply too much effort on one side. Okay, that should be it. And stop. Now this is where you check to see if your burrs are aligned. And yeah, they're roughly all erased. Now there's no such thing as 100% alignment. Okay, as long as you get a majority of this being erased at the edge, you are fine. It shows that the burr is in fact aligned to its utmost best and that it's touching evenly all around. Let's see if you can see right here. Yeah, this should be okay. You can see from here as well. All around it evenly. In fact, if I were to let it shim a little bit more, this entire thing would have been erased. But I don't want to damage my burrs as much. This is good enough of an indicator to show that your burrs are aligned. Okay, now what if it's not? Well, that means you can clearly see one side, majority of one side has not been touched. That's how the markings are still there. If that's the case, you start focusing on the top burr carrier. That's where your fixed burr is. You're not going to be working on the rotary burr. You're going to be fixing the burr realignment through the fixed burr. Take the appropriate screws. Should easily come off. Now you can also see the markings from here, from the top down view, that it's almost evenly erased. Okay. Gently take out the fixed burr. Try not to damage your SSP burr. Okay. Make sure the O-ring is still intact. Don't lose it or it's going to affect your realignment a lot more. Now flip it over. Okay. I'll take out my gloves for this because I'm not touching the blade area yet. So you have these kind of paper stickers. Where is it? There we go. You can see it here. Alright. Take one of these out. Let's say that this side is where the marker has not been erased. Okay. Now that's where I'm gonna flip it over. It's right here. I'm gonna cut out small strips. Okay. Thin strips. Really thin strips like this. And you're gonna place it on the outer edge as so. Should not come into contact with the blades, however it's supposed to come into contact with this part here. Okay, now place 2 to 3 and then do the marker test again. So as it's according to the length, it should be fine. Alright, now cut off any excess that are sticking out. Okay, so this is just basically housekeeping, right? Apply it on the sides where the markings are really visible. Place it back on, and this should help with the realignment again. The thickness should push up that side of the burr so that it comes into contact when it's shimming, thus allowing you to have a balanced out burr that's fixed onto the top burr chamber. This should give you a fixed burr alignment. Okay, close to perfect. There's no such thing as perfect. Okay, so close to perfect. And yeah, you should be able to get your uniform grind sizes again, and all those things that were hindered by the misalignment of the burrs. And yeah, that's how you do burr realignment with a vertical grinder. Okay, to show you here, just place the stickers here on the part where the markings have not been rubbed off. Alright, and there you have it. Let us know what you think about this video and what you want to see next in the comment section down below. And I hope this answers your questions on how to realign your burrs. Alright, it's applicable for all your vertical grinders. You can do this for the 64 Gen 1 and Gen 2, the Vs. Yeah, pretty much it. Alright, so I'll see you all next time. Bye.